Welcome to the presentation on Learning Analytic Model for the GROGA Social Emotional Learning Program. So the issue is, how do we find out the social emotional status of each student who's returning back to school, um, especially at the younger ages between K through 8th grade? And we're going to do these surveys without the use of computers. So the overview today, we're going to talk about different sections and steps, um, from creating and scoring to the questions from the interviews, the surveys. We're breaking them down into sections: self-management, self-awareness, responsible decision-making. We then determine the highs and lows. We're going to discuss taking action, and then identifying the needs and assess the personal content. So step one, we create a survey, 19 questions, review the responses, and give them a score between 0 and 5, 0 meaning no answer, and 1 meaning never, and 5 meaning always. From there, we make a sample of the questions of the 3 different areas of concern: self-awareness, self-management, and responsible decision-making. And from there, we determine the answers. We say 1 never, 5 always, and self-awareness. Always is not very good, so that will need immediate attention from the teacher. So here we have some actual information from a survey, and we have this different students, and you can see the highlighted questions. Number 1 and 2 was part of our self-awareness, and several students have scored really high in this area, which is a concern, or should be a concern, for the teacher as well as the staff. So step 3, we're going to take action, and in the self-awareness high scores, we're going to start intervention or one-to-one meeting. In self-management, we're just going to create content, and responsible decision making will create content. Everything still will be covered, but as we mentioned before, the self-awareness is a priority. So here's an example of some scores from a survey, and we have established that a high score between 25 and 35 will definitely put a student in the priority list. And so we have several students in this category, and they will either have one-on-one intervention or something else deemed necessary from the teacher and administration. So then in the second semester, we have a second survey given with a high score of 25 to 35. And as you notice that this first student has scores have gone up. So there might be some else going on, and the survey self-management scores are up. So this student will be listed as a priority to find out maybe there's some other things that need to be looked at. Like I said, a one-on-one session, counseling, or just an administrative issue. So step 4 is our connection. So we're going to identify the student and the questions. We're going to personalize and make an assessment. How do we do this? So identifying the needs, we're going to look at the responses, develop the curriculum, and then also collaborate with administration. Find out if the students' attitudes have changed, and can they explain the reasoning for their opinion, and can they apply responses in the new setting. So here we have a review of our entire system, how we have it set up by sections, as we had discussed. We also have the review of the steps after we have identified each area of the negative responses, and how we personalize and how we assess. And once we get to that, we might have to start over again. Are there any questions at this time? Thank you.